Hi, my name is Michelle Fondin, and I'm the author of The Wheel of Healing with Ayurveda, an easy guide to a healthy lifestyle. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this book and about the companion workbook, which is called The Wheel of Healing with Ayurveda Companion Workbook. A lot of clients, a lot of students get confused because there are two books. And so let me just explain this to you. The Wheel of Healing with Ayurveda was really designed to be an interactive book. It's obviously an introduction to Ayurveda. It's a self-help book, so it's a to-do book. It's not just to read through and go, oh, this is really nice. This is a nice concept. These are nice chapters. The elements in the wheel are just perfect. And I explained throughout the book that this book is actually an action book. It's to get you to take action in your life and to not just sit there and go, oh, I wonder, why my health isn't getting any better. It's for you to delve into it and to look at it and to say, this is where my health is not going well. This is how I'd like to change my life. This is how I'd like to change my relationships, and dive into it and do something. I love books. I read a lot of nonfiction books. I read a lot of fiction books. But when I started with my nonfiction books, what I realized, especially in the beginning, was I realized that I would read a lot of self-help nonfiction books. I thought they were interesting. I'm really interested in self-growth. But the one thing is that I would listen to these CDs and I'd be like, oh, that's so nice. I would listen to Dr. Wayne Dyer. I would listen to Dr. Deepak Chopra. I would listen to a lot of other motivational speakers, and I would go, those are great concepts. This is so cool. This is so nice. I feel energized. Well, pretty soon after listening to them and finishing those CDs or reading the book and finishing the nonfiction self-help books, I would just go back to living my life and nothing would change. And so I designed the Wheel of Healing with Ayurveda so that you can change, so you can find it within you to change. The other bit of feedback I've gotten is that it's not an in-depth study of Ayurveda. It's not an in-depth study of Ayurveda. What I find is Ayurveda is extremely complex. It's very complex. It's a very complex medical science. It's a complete medical science. So yes, it is really, really complex. And that's another one of those things that if you dive into Ayurveda and start studying, for example, the interaction of Vata, Pitta, and Kapha with the various herbal remedies that are out there, or the plant essences that are out there, things can get extremely complicated. And for the person that is not either a medical doctor or an alternative healthcare practitioner who has a bachelor's or master's in Ayurvedic science, the average person is just not going to delve into something that deeply that's so complicated. Really, today, who has time for that? Nobody has time for that. You've got to make a living, right? So the way I wrote this book is that it's very easy and interactive to actually start making these changes in your life. Now, another thing I do mention in the book is that you can delve in at any time, any chapter. It doesn't matter. The Wheel of Healing is about healing. It's about integrative healing. It's about healing each and every aspect of your life. So I just opened up to physical health. So if physical health is where you are ailing, then start with that chapter. Relationship health, if you find that you want to enhance and beautify and make your relationship stronger, healthy, and whole, then open up and work through the relationship chapter. So it's meant to be a book to read from cover to cover. It's meant to be read chapter by chapter, or maybe take one chapter per month and just really delve deeply into it. Work on that, because each and every one of us has an area in our lives where we're not satisfied. We all have an area in our lives where we know we could do better. We want to do better. We feel we're ailing. We feel we're sick in that area. And so this is an opportunity for you to delve deeply into this and say, where do I need to rebalance? Let me reevaluate my life now and let me learn how I can get better. So that leads me to the Wheel of Healing with Ayurveda Companion Workbook. Now, if you see, the workbook is not very big. It's 100 pages. It is a companion, literally, it's a companion to the Wheel of Healing with Ayurveda book, okay? So if you're going to work in the workbook, you absolutely need to have read and you need to have at your disposal the Wheel of Healing with Ayurveda. The reason I created this interactive companion workbook is because I received feedback from readers like you and viewers like you. The feedback I got is, yes, I love your book, but I'd like to go a little bit deeper with this. I would like to understand a little deeper about the doshas. I'd like to understand how I can work through my dharma or my purpose in life. So in the workbook, I have a chapter that corresponds to each chapter in the Wheel of Healing with Ayurveda. So I have a deeper explanation of the doshas. So as you look at this right here, and I will bring it up for you guys to see, in the in-depth study, there is a page or two dedicated to each of the doshas, going more in depth on the doshas and really explaining it even more, even greater if you want to go that deep. There is also a plan, a daily plan for each of the doshas. Again, if you want to go deep, it's really explaining the combinations of the doshas even deeper. There is a Vickruti test, which is your state of imbalance or your current state, so that you can take this test inside of the companion workbook. You can take the test from time to time and just see where you're at, see where your imbalances lie. There is also a 15-day program on discovering your dharma. You can take one day with one paragraph each day for 15 days, and by the end of 15 days, you will be well on the road to discovering your dharma or your purpose in life. This companion workbook, again, is meant for an in-depth study. It's meant to be a companion to the Wheel of Healing with Ayurveda. So you can take one chapter and you can really study it in depth for an entire month or a couple of months if you want. At the end of this companion workbook, I have sample meals and eating plans for Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So for each of the doshas, you'll see like Vata pacifying snacks, Vata pacifying lunches, Pitta pacifying breakfast choices. There are suggestions for each of these. So it's a really great little workbook. It's a great supplement to the Wheel of Healing with Ayurveda. I didn't want the Wheel of Healing with Ayurveda to be 400 pages, 500 pages. In my experience with self-help books is that when I get a book that's 400 pages long or 500 pages long that's a self-help book, I'm not going to read through the entire thing. And you know that too. So thank you so much for listening. And I really hope that you look at the Wheel of Healing with Ayurveda a little differently this time. That you're able to go back and read and reread the book and go back to those chapters where you know that you need to make modifications in your life and your lifestyle. And then I hope you pick up a copy of the companion workbook that'll just help you go deeper into your study of Ayurveda and into your own healing, because that's what you want. You want to live this energetic, dynamic life with perfect health. Namaste.